Still Mills was the Dizzle, man. Checking back in with y'all, man. Finally heading home. Short work day on this beautiful Friday. The sun shining and all that. I feel good, man. Shout out to the sun people. But speaking of the sun people, man, there's three motherfuckers that I need to see. Three of my favorite fighters that we need to talk about. And that is Danny Jacobs, Julian J. Rock Williams, and Keith Thurman. Danny Jacobs, what is we doing, my nigga? Is we staying at 68? Is we going back to 60? Like, what's the business, Brody? Like, you didn't have the best performance against Gabe Rosado, man. And you know, all the shit you was talking in the build up to that fight, I thought you was gonna go in there and viciously crash that nigga, man. But you let the 40 equal out fight, and it's to a point where people are questioning whether or not is it that you're overrated or is he just that good? Like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do think you won the fight, and I thought, you know, I thought for you to carry the weight, for you to move up to 68, you carried the weight well. You moved beautifully, man. Your upper body movement is still there. You're still quick. You're still a sharp counter puncher, but you did not step on the gas the way that you need to. I enjoyed the fight. Me personally, I enjoyed it. But I'm not just, when I watch a fight, I'm not just looking for, you know, a slugfest and drag amounts of offensive output. I appreciate the other nuances of the game as well, man. I appreciate patience. I appreciate timing. I appreciate defense. I appreciate just completely taking all of the tools that your opponent may have away from them. And that's when you decide you want to go to work. You slow the tempo of the fight down, and that's when you go to work. B-Hop and Lara and Andre Ward and the cats, likes of the, you know, the likes of them cats. They're known for doing shit like that. So I appreciate the nuances in the fight. You, however, didn't do that. You ain't do that. I think you was just really predicated on our, you know, I think it looked like you was in there working on shit. And I ain't mad at that, but you know, you left the door open for a motherfucker to say Gabe Rosado won the fight. And now people are trying to use that to knock you. So what is we doing, man? Are you really trying to be a competitor up there at 68? What is we doing? I don't know. We ain't heard from you in a minute, G. We ain't heard from you in a minute, man. I need to see you out here, man. You know, you one of my dogs, man. African style, like you said with Canelo, man. You know what I'm saying? I dug that. I dug that. I most definitely, I'm an African man. I'm an American-born African. I bang that very well, you know, very much so. I'm very proud of my heritage and my lineage, man. So I've always been a fan of yours, man. But when you said that really had me like, I fucks with him even more now, because a lot of people are really, you know, they're ashamed to say that I'm an African. They find shame in that. So for you to really voice that shit, I thought that was dope, man. So like I said, I was fucking with you before that. Just that really solidified it after the fact, man. But I don't know. I want to see you active, man. I want to see you active, and I want to know who it is you got in the scope. Who's in the scope, man? And is you gonna stay at 68 or go back to 60? I think you said you're gonna stay at 68. But man, let's get busy, man. Let's get busy. This pandemic is bringing the best out of people, man. It's bringing the hunger out of people, because they ain't got time to take the whole, you know, build up fights and do 30 tune-up fights just for them to go and fight, you know, a contender, you know what I'm saying? Or someone who may have the slightest chance at actually beating them and making it a competitive fight. I need to see you, my dude. What's the deal? What's goody, bro? Let's get to it, my nigga. Let's get to it. Next, J-Rock. Man. What we doing, bro? What we doing, bro? I mean, that last fight was a bit of a doozy. Not even a bit, man. God damn. That was supposed to be you fighting Jermell Charlo. That was supposed to be you. That was supposed to be you. It was, man, but got caught slipping. I didn't expect that from Banana, man. I mean, dude has been stopped. Nathaniel Gallimore stopped him, man. So I just knew, I mean, shit. that's another exploitation of the triangle theory. It gets exploited again. You beat Nathaniel Gallimore. Nathaniel Gallimore stops Jason Rosario. Now, I don't know if that kind of, halted your momentum or whatever the case may be, man, but you've been here before. You've been here before, man. Let's get back to it, man. It's some good work for you at 54, man. Like, let's get back in the smoke, man. Get back in the smoke. I want to see you successful, bro. You my nigga, man. I want to see you successful. I want to see you get in there and get busy, man. When you got, after you won the title off of Jerry Hurd, and you hopped in the ring and you gave that speech and you told them, man, stop knocking fighters who lose. I mean, that you're gonna lose. That's how I feel. You're gonna lose. You're gonna get knocked out. It's gonna happen. It's the sport. You can't get away from that. You're never gonna be able to get away from that. That's just how it goes in the sport of boxing, man. So, I felt that. I felt that. I love that you said that. You are not done. You should not be thinking about retirement or go through any sort of identity crisis or whatever because you become a victim of a circumstance in a sport that's more, that is more than likely to happen to you. It is what it is, man. You dig? So I don't want you to be discouraged off of that, man. Get back in the smoke. Get to it, man. All the 154 pounds is that's all PBC side. That's all PBC side, man. They run that shit over there, man. Tony Harrison, Laura over there, bro. Go ahead, go to work, man. Go clock in. I want to see you back in the ring. I want to see you back in action in the next few months. I don't want to see you get stagnant. I don't, man. I want to see you working out here still, man. So let's get back to it, my nigga. You took too long off. Get back in there, man. Clock in. Last but not least, Keith fucking Thurman, man. My nigga, it has been well over a year since you have fought. Well over a year. You should be more than healed of your injuries. More than healed. You had 2 years off. While you were a champion, you came back, you got in there running with Jose Zuka Lopez. Had a little scare. Everybody's doubting you because you got shook up a lot more than you ever been shooken up by a fighter. Well, Jose Zuka Lopez, I mean, that man had you on your heels for a nice lengthy amount of rounds, man. But I mean, people, oh man, he used, he done, he this and that. I'm like, man, well, I mean, when hasn't Thurman been hurt before? You know what I'm saying? You've been hurt to the body multiple times. Multiple times. It happens. It's happened. And not to mention, when you talk about Jose Zuka Lopez, he got his fucking jaw broke by Canelo Alvarez. So he's been in there with bigger people and bigger punchers. And you try to explain that to motherfuckers, and they not necessarily willing to receive the information because they just hell bent on the fact that you done and you overrated and all that bull. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, after that fight, you win that fight, and you dropped him. You dropped him in like the second round. When Lennox said, I don't see his timing off, I don't see any cobwebs, this looks like vintage Keith Thurman. I felt the same way. I felt the same way. You were very good on your feet. Your jab was there. Your countering was there. Everything was there. Combination punching, everything was there. And you even scored a knockdown. I mean, did you score that knockdown out of the southpaw stance? I could have swore it was out of the southpaw or you coming out of the southpaw back into orthodox. It was either or, but you scored the knockdown in the second round. And you was doing the damn thing and you persevered. I mean, that speaks to the warrior. When you was hurt, you didn't tie up, you ain't wrap that nigga up or nothing. You just stayed moving. You just stayed moving. Lay on the rope for a minute, but not too long. All right, cool. I caught my breath. Let me get back on my bicycle. So you squeak out a victory there. Then you go in and you fight Manny Pacquiao, and allegedly you got all these hand injuries and all that. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. You did a lot of, you did a lot of shit talking to Manny Pacquiao, and we all know how that fight ended. But according to you, you had all these hand injuries. All right, well, all right, bet that. That's neither here nor there. You lost. You're no longer a champion, and now you better not duck me, son. Keith Thurman seems to be, resurrected. So what are we doing with it, man? I mean, at this moment, you're not about, you're not on the radar for Bud. Bob Arum ain't finna come out in the wild show to get you no fight. It's just not. He's always talked down to you as a fighter to begin with. Oh, it's a terrible fight. All that bullshit, man. Like, we all know how I feel about Bob Arum. I'm not a fan of Bob Arum whatsoever, man. I think he's holding up niggas' careers and shit like that. But if you can't get that fight with Terrence Crawford, who else is out there for you to go, to go handle? I mean, you're not finna talk Ugas out of a fight with Earl Spence. He's fighting the weight bully next, bro. You may as well you may as well kill all that noise, man. You're not getting that fight until after he fights Earl the weight bully Spence. You're not getting that fight. But until that fight goes down, you want the shelf. So who in the scope? Who's in the scope? What are we doing, man? Who are you looking to? We know you want to fight Crawford. We know you want, we know you want these bigger fights. We know that. We get that. But who's next? As of now, because everybody's hands are tied right now. Everybody's wrapped up. Who's there? Like, who are you looking for? So I don't know, man. I mean, you need something. I mean, we need to see you active, bro. I need to see you active. I get a lot of flack for the praises that I sing about you. I get a lot of flack for singing the praises that I sing about all three of the niggas I mentioned in the video. Because two of them have knockout losses. None of you are undefeated. That people's biggest beef with Thurman is the fact that he ran from Earl Spence. That's people's biggest beef. And that's why he ran from Spence, he ain't this and that and the 30, yada yada yada. And it's understandable, bro. Like I said, you threw them spikes on and got clear away from Spence. Nigga interrupt the interviews and all that and just really domineering over you, man. You just not ever gonna fight me. You just keep running from me. You go right back into that, that little dot like, man. And I still think you can beat Spence. But it's just, we gotta know what you're doing, man. We gotta know what's going on, man. Where we at? Where we go from here? Danny Jacobs, where we going from here, man? There's plenty work up there at 168 pounds, man. You should be acclimated into the division now. You should be acclimated. You stopped Chavez Jr. You squeaked out a win against Gabe Rosado. Who's next? You're established. You shouldn't have to wait all this time to, do more road work than that of a prospect to get a shot at a title. You're already a contender. You're already a contender. You've had 2 fights in the division, man, so I don't think you should waste any more time bullshit. You know who you want, go make that happen. Go make that happen. You on the zone, Callum Smith is fresh off a loss. Go run that with Callum. I think that's a good fight. I think that's a real good fight. You and Callum. Go do the damn thing, man. Go do the damn thing. J-Rock, 154, you and Erickson Lubin. That is a good fight. Go do the damn thing. Go do the damn thing. Y'all both have losses to each Charlo. Knockout losses. Go do the damn thing, man. Go run that. Keith Thurman, I'm not too sure who you would fight next. Who I don't want to see you and Danny Garcia again. I really don't. You know, that's allegedly where your injuries really manifested at in that fight. And before that, before you got on your bicycle, I thought you was just completely dominating dude. So I don't want to see that fight again. Shit, who's up there for you to fight? You off a loss. Kell Brook is off a fresh off a knockout. I don't know, man. Who, what other quality opponent is there that'll bring some sort of that can sharp, test you, but not to a point where it's like, man, this nigga might lose. A whole year out of the ring, bro. Bro. I think you need a lighter touch. I do think you need a lighter touch, but who is that lighter touch gonna be, man? I don't know. Start making some phone calls. Go get without habit and see what the business is, man. But don't sit on the shelf for you've been on the shelf entirely too long. A whole fucking year. You fresh off a 2-year vacate. Now you back on the like, man, you wasting your prime, doggy. You wasting your prime, man. And there's still plenty left in the tank. There's plenty left. So that's how I'm feeling about my niggas, man. Them is some of my, I got plenty of fighters that I'm like, yo, I'm rooting for them, man. But those three in particular are cats that I really admire, and I respect their skill set, and I think they're very underrated and underappreciated in their division. I do, man. So like and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Am I burnt the fuck out or what, man? Holla at me, man. Peace.